A very good evening, children. This is 12th standard mathematics, chapter number 4. Yesterday only we started this chapter, and this is our last chapter that has to be discussed. And the chapter name is Inverse Trigonometric Functions. And while introducing the topic, I said we have learned trigonometry in 11th standard, and this is inverse trigonometric functions. As soon as we say trigonometry, we will immediately remember all the 6 trigonometrical ratios: sin theta, cos theta, tan theta, cosecant theta, secant theta, and cot theta. These are the 6 trigonometric ratios which immediately comes to our mind when we heard the name trigonometry. And here we are going to study about the inverse functions of what those 6 trigonometric ratios I said. We are going to discuss about the inverse of those things in this chapter. So the chapter name is Inverse Trigonometric Functions. And in the last class we discussed about inverse sine function, that is sine inverse x. And also we have seen that the domain of a sine inverse function is -1 to +1. And the range of sine inverse x is -π/2 to +π/2. And with that we did a few problems based on it. Now we will pass on for the next inverse function called inverse cosine function. In the previous class we studied about inverse sine function. Now we will see inverse cosine function. And as I said, the domain and range of sine inverse x is -1 to +1, closed interval domain. Range is -π/2 to +π/2. Similarly, the domain of cos, that is inverse cosine function, or otherwise cos inverse x, inverse cosine function, can be also written as cos inverse x. So cos inverse x is called inverse cos function. This is what we are studying about. The domain of this function, that is cos inverse x, is -1 to +1. And the range of this cos inverse x is from 0 to pi, and both are closed interval. What is the meaning of closed interval? Here -1 and +1 are included, and in the range 0 and pi, those two values are included. That is the meaning of closed interval. So again, before seeing the problems, we should clearly know what is the domain and range of cos inverse x. Sin inverse x means -1 to +1, closed interval, that is the domain. -π/2 to +π/2, closed interval, that is called range. For cos inverse x, domain is same as sin inverse x, -1 to +1, closed interval, but the range of cos inverse function is closed interval 0, pi. Now we will see few problems based on this concept. Problem number 10. Find all values of x such that x lies within -6π to +6π and cos x equal to 0. So same kind of problem we have also seen in a sin inverse x concept also. Similarly, almost similar kind of problem when compared to sin inverse x. Find all the values of x, that x should lie between -6π to +6π, and also it should satisfy the condition cos x equal to 0. So first we will start with this condition. Cos x equal to 0 implies this x should be equal to 2n plus 1 into pi/2. This is the standard result that we studied in 11th standard. For example, n belongs to I. Even I can say n belongs to z also. So if I put n equal to 0, what happens? If I put n equal to 0, this becomes 0. Only 1 remains. 1 into pi/2. And I know that if n is 0, this will become pi/2. If I substitute pi/2 here, definitely cos 90, answer is 0. Similarly, if I put n is equal to 1, then also 2 into 1 2, 2 plus 1 3, 3 pi by 2. If you substitute here cos 3 pi by 2, again the answer will be 0. So there are many results which satisfies cos x equal to 0, and generally it is given by 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. Even I can write n belongs to z. Instead of writing I can even write z. What is the meaning of z? Integers. So these are all the x values, but what we want values between minus 6 pi to plus 6 pi. So I am writing the answer now. Therefore x is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. This is the answer. But since our limit is only from minus 6 pi to plus 6 pi, I should not say n belongs to z. I have to be very particular about this value of n. So I am going to take n is equal to 0 plus or minus 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll stop at plus or minus 5. The reason is, if I substitute 5 in place of n, what happens? 2 into 5. If I substitute 5, 2 5s are 10, 10 plus 1, 11, 11 pi by 2. What is the meaning of 11 pi by 2? Should I write in the rough column? 11 pi by 2. The meaning is, if I cancel 2 and 11, it will become 5.5 pi. For example, 11 by 2 is 5.5 pi. This 5.5 pi will definitely lie within this limit, because we can go up to 6 pi. So this is 5.5 will within the limit. Suppose if I put 6 plus or minus 6, if I write, what happens? If I put 6 here, 2 into 6, 12, 12 plus 1, 13, and if you see 13 pi by 2, for example 13 pi by 2, which is equal to 6.5 pi, which goes out of this interval. Same thing for negative also. So that is why we are stopping with plus or minus 5 and not exceeding more than that. So the answer is this, but the value of n should be only these values. We cannot go beyond this, because if we go beyond this, x value will go out of this limit. So the answer is this, and the n value is, we should stop at plus or minus 5. Problem number 11. State the reason for cos inverse of cos of minus pi by 6 is not equal to minus pi by 6. So they are asking us to give reason for these two are not equal. Again, same kind of problem we have seen while discussing about inverse sine function also. Again, I am telling the same thing. Many students will say, sir, cos inverse and cos will get cancelled, so minus pi by 6 will come, so they are equal. But here in this question, what they are asking is, we have to show that these two are not equal with reason. So first of all, we have to know one thing. What is the range of cos inverse function? This we have to know clearly. 0 to pi, closed interval 0 comma pi. So we know that cos inverse of, that is cos inverse of cos of something, cos inverse of cos x equal to x, that is cos inverse and cos will get cancelled. When this cos inverse and cos will get cancelled, no, only if this x value lies between 0 to pi. So try to understand this concept very clearly. You cannot cancel every time cos inverse and cos. You can cancel cos inverse and cos only if this x value lies within 0 to 180. Suppose if this x value is somewhere between 0 to 180, pi means 180, we can cancel cos inverse and cos. If this x value does not lie within this interval, we cannot cancel cos inverse and cos. Same thing here. See, what is minus pi by 6? Minus 30 degree. Definitely it is not in this interval, because only positive values are here, 0 to 180. This is minus 30 degree, right? So I cannot cancel this and this. That is what I am telling. But minus pi by 6, this minus 30 degree does not lie within this interval, does not belong to this interval 0, pi. Therefore, I cannot cancel and say answer is minus pi by 6. Therefore, these two are not equal. Therefore, the answer I cannot cancel now and say minus pi by 6. No. So, since that is not possible, this answer is not equal to minus pi by 6. Hope you will understand this. This is a very important concept. Every time we cannot cancel cos inverse and cos. When we can cancel, only if this x value lies within this interval. Then only we can cancel cos inverse and cos. Moving on to the next sum. Question number 12 is cos inverse of minus x. If cos inverse of minus x is equal to pi minus cos inverse x is true. Whether these two are equal, is it true? That is the question. Justify your answer. What they are asking, whether these two are equal or not. Whether these two are equal or not, we have to justify. So you just see what is LHS, cos inverse of minus x. What is RHS? Pi minus cos inverse x. It is RHS. Whether they are equal or not, we are going to verify. So how we are going to start with? I am going to give a name for this LHS. Let the LHS, cos inverse of minus x, equal to A. I am giving a name for LHS. We are taking it as small a. So immediately when cos inverse come to this side, cos inverse comes to other side, it becomes cos. So when cos inverse goes here, it becomes cos A equal to, here minus x will be there. Now x multiplying minus on both sides. How this comes? Multiply minus on both sides. You will be getting this. So this will become plus, yes or no? Minus x becomes plus x, plus cos A becomes minus cos A, because we are multiplying with minus symbol on both sides. Now x is equal to minus cos A can be written as, and we know very well, this is the formula that we should know, cos 180 minus theta. The answer is minus cos theta. Cos 180 minus theta is minus cos theta. So you just imagine this is minus cos theta. You just imagine this is minus cos theta. So that can be written as cos 180 minus theta. That is why I am writing cos pi means 180. Cos pi minus a. Using this formula, minus cos a is written as cos 180 minus a. Now take this cos to other side. Cos goes to other side, becomes cos inverse x equal to pi minus a. Now change the sides now. Minus a is taken to left other side, plus a. Cos inverse x is coming to right side, becomes minus cos inverse x. Already pi present, so pi minus cos inverse x. Are you able to understand? I am going to explain it once again. Taking LHS as small a, cos inverse other side becomes cos, multiplying with minus sign on both sides. Minus cos a is written as, using this formula, this is written as cos 180 minus a. Cos taken to other side, cos inverse. A minus a is taken to other side, plus a. Cos inverse x is coming to right side, so pi minus cos inverse x. Now what is actually a? First step itself we have taken, a is nothing but LHS, cos inverse of minus x. So in place of a, you just take this as equation number 1, and this is by 1, right? Because cos inverse x, here it is, a is equal to pi minus cos inverse x. This a value is nothing but cos inverse of minus x. By equation 1, this a is replaced by cos inverse of minus x equal to pi minus cos inverse x. So eventually now we have proved this result. Cos inverse of minus x is equal to pi minus cos inverse x. Therefore this result is true. So hence they are equal. Problem number 13. Find the principal value of cos inverse of 1 by 2. The question is, find the principal value of cos inverse of 1 by 2. For doing this, for finding out principal value, we must know about range of this function, and also we know the range of cos inverse function. What is the range of cos inverse function? 0 to pi, closed interval 0 to pi, and definitely cos inverse of 1 by 2, and we know very well cos 60 degree equal to 1 by 2, yes or no? Cos 60 degree is equal to 1 by 2. This we have studied in 10th standard itself. Cos 60 degree, answer is 1 by 2. The 60 degrees can be written as pi by 3. So cos inverse of 1 by 2, the answer is 60 degree. So I am writing cos inverse of 1 by 2 is equal to 60 degree pi by 3. Since this belongs to this range 0 comma pi, the principal value of cos inverse 1 by 2 is this pi by 3 itself. Try to understand what I am telling. We need to find principal value, for which we should know what is the range of this inverse function, cos inverse function. We know 0 comma pi, and I am trying to find out the value for this cos inverse 1 by 2. What is the value? 60 degree, because cos 60, answer is 1 by 2. Therefore cos inverse 1 by 2 is 60 degree. 60 degree definitely lies in 0 to 180. Therefore this itself is principal value. Therefore the principal value of this cos inverse 1 by 2 is 60 degree pi by 3. Problem number 14. Find the value of cos inverse 1 by 2 plus sin inverse of minus 1. Find the value of cos inverse of 1 by 2 plus sin inverse of minus 1. So since we need to find this value, I am writing the question once again. Cos inverse of 1 by 2 plus sin inverse of minus 1. Now cos inverse of 1 by 2, this minus is taken to the front, so that this becomes minus sin inverse 1, because we know the formula. Sin inverse of minus x is equal to minus sin inverse x. Sin inverse of minus x, this minus can be taken outside. So similarly here sin inverse of minus 1, this minus is taken outside, and here minus comes, here it becomes 1. Already we know very well cos inverse 1 by 2. What is the answer? Cos inverse 1 by 2, when 1 by 2 will come in cos table at 60 degree, so pi by 3. The value for this is 60 degree. And when 1 will come in sin table, when 1 will come in sin table 90 degree, sin 90 is 1. So in this place I am putting 90 degree. So this is pi by 3 minus pi by 2. LCM is 3, for 3 and 2 LCM is 6. So here it should be multiplied by 2. So 2 pi into 3 into 3. So 3 pi. So 2 pi minus 3 pi minus pi by 6 is the answer for this expression. Question number 15. Find the value of cos inverse of cos pi by 7 cos pi by 17 minus sin pi by 7 sin pi by 17. And for doing this sum, we need a trigonometric result, which we have learnt even in vector algebra. We know very well cos a plus b is equal to cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. This is the famous trigonometrical result, which we have proved in vector algebra also. So why we are insisting this here means, just you see this term which is present inside the bracket. It looks like cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. Again I'll repeat, cos a cos b minus sin a sin b, right or not? So it looks like this. So what I am doing is, again I am writing the question. Cos inverse of this question is written. Since it is of this format, that can be written as cos a plus b. Now what is a? Pi by 7. What is b? Pi by 17. So I am writing this entire thing as cos a plus b. This is a, this is b. So using this formula, we are writing this entire thing in this form. So cos of a plus b. Cos inverse of cos Taking LCM for these two, 17 into 7 is 119. So 17 will come here, 7 will go, 17 pi plus 7 pi, right? Adding these two, 24 pi by 119, and cos inverse cos will get cancelled. Yes or no? Cos inverse cos will get cancelled. So the answer is 24 pi by 119. Hope you will understand. Only thing is we should know this trigonometrical result. Question number 16. Find the domain of f of x is equal to sine inverse of modulus x minus 2 by 3 plus cos inverse of 1 minus modulus x by 4. What is the meaning of the question? We need to find the domain of this function. So we know very well already a domain of sine inverse x, since sine inverse present here, domain of sine inverse x is minus 1 to 1, closed interval minus 1 to 1. Also we know domain of cos inverse x is also the same, minus 1 to plus 1. That is why we are writing domain of sine inverse x and cos inverse x is closed interval minus 1 to plus 1. So easily we can say that this value, this bracket value, should lie between minus 1 to plus 1, because sine inverse, the domain is this. So this value should lie only between minus 1 to plus 1. Same thing for cos inverse also. So this value should lie between minus 1 to plus 1. Now just take this 3 to here. So it becomes minus 3. And 3 to here, it becomes plus 3. Or you can say multiply by 3. Multiplying by 3, what we get? Here minus 3 will come. If you multiply 3 here, 3 will get cancelled. This becomes 3. Similarly here, multiply by 4. Multiply by 4. So here you will get minus 4. 4 cancels. Here it will be 4. Now just here it is add 2. Add 2. What will happen? Minus 3 plus 2 minus 1. If I add 2, 2 gets cancelled. If I add 2 here, 3 plus 2 is 5. So since it is minus 2 here, I am adding 2 with all the 3 terms. So this becomes minus 1. This becomes mod x. If you add 2 here, this becomes 5. Similarly, here I am going to subtract 1. Minus 4 minus 1 minus 5. If you put minus 1 here, 1 minus 1 cancels. So minus mod x. If you subtract 1, 4 becomes 3. Now multiplying with minus symbol, that is multiply by minus. So minus 5 becomes plus 5. Minus mod x becomes plus mod x. 3 becomes minus 3. At the same time, if you multiply an inequality with minus symbol, the inequality changes. Therefore, less than or equal to will become greater than or equal to. Less than or equal to becomes greater than or equal to. I am slowly explaining step by step. When you multiply minus sign with inequality, the inequality changes. Less than becomes greater than or equal to. See. Now, so this is written here. So here also, if I say minus 3, I am just writing it in the reverse order. Minus 3, it is lesser than, because lesser than or equal to mod x, lesser than or equal. Same thing I am writing in the reverse order. So I am writing it. So what is the meaning now? The meaning for this is the modulus x value should lie between minus 1 and 5. And here this statement says modulus x value should lie between minus 3 to 5. So what is the value which satisfies both the conditions? If I take modulus x less than or equal to 5, even you can assume like this, that is modulus x is less than or equal to 5. Here also modulus x is less than or equal to 5. The value which satisfies both the condition is mod x less than or equal to 5. Yes or no? Because we know very well modulus value will always be greater than a negative number. Yes or no? Since this is modulus, it will be positive number. definitely positive number is greater than a negative number, so this is obviously true. So you need not insist on this, only we should insist on this thing, modulus x less than or equal to 5. In the same way, again modulus value will always be greater than a negative number. Since this is negative number, we know modulus x is always greater than minus 3, so no problem in this, only it should satisfy this condition, modulus x less than or equal to 5. So in both the way the condition is same, so I am taking only this condition here. Since modulus x is less than or equal to 5, the meaning is minus 5 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 5. So x can lie between minus 5 to plus 5. So the domain is minus 5 to plus. Since equal to symbol is also there, closed interval minus 5 to plus 5 is the domain for this function. Now we'll go for problem number 17. Find the value of cos inverse of cos 4 pi by 3 plus cos inverse of cos 5 pi by 4. Now you just see, so we need to find the value for this function. So I am writing cos inverse of, since 4 pi by 3 does not lie in the interval 0 to pi, yes or no? So we should change this. We cannot cancel cos inverse and cos, therefore 4 pi by 3 should be written as, some simplification should be done for 4 pi by 3. So we are writing that as pi plus pi by 3. And here also cos inverse and cos cannot be cancelled. The reason is this value will not lie within the range of cos function. So try to understand what I am telling. So what I am telling, 4 pi by 3, the answer is 240 degree, does not lie in 0 to 180. Similarly, this value also does not lie in 0 to 180. So we cannot directly cancel cos inverse and cos. So 4 pi by 3 is written as pi plus pi by 3. 5 pi by 4 is written as pi plus pi by 4. If you cross multiply, you will get the same answer. And we know cos 180 plus theta minus cos theta. Cos 180 plus theta, answer is minus cos theta. Same thing, cos 180 plus theta minus cos theta. Now this minus cos theta, again we have discussed this. Minus cos theta can be written as cos of pi minus theta. Minus cos theta is written as cos pi minus theta. Same thing, minus cos theta is written as cos pi minus theta. Now if you see, simplify 3 pi minus pi, 2 pi by 3. 4 pi minus pi, 3 pi by 4. Now if you see pi by 3 into 2, this is 120 degree which lies in 0 to 180. Similarly, this is 135 degree, lies between 0 to 180. So now I can cancel cos inverse and cos. So 2 pi by 3, cos inverse cos cancels, 3 pi by 4, taking LCM and getting the answer as 17 pi by 12. So with that 17th problem, we finish the other inverse function. Cos inverse function gets over. Then we enter into the next inverse function called inverse tangent function, or otherwise can be written as tan inverse x. Inverse tangent function, or can be written as tan inverse x. Once again remember, domain of tan inverse x is minus infinity to plus infinity. Range of tan inverse x is minus 90 degree to plus 90 degree, open interval. See this is open interval. Domain is minus infinity to plus infinity. Range is minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, open interval. Now we will see some problems. Find the domain of tan inverse of root of 9 minus x square. Just now we have seen, we know that the domain of tan inverse x is minus infinity to plus infinity. Therefore the meaning is this value, this function should lie between minus infinity to plus infinity. And we know very well this is square root. So inside the square root only positive number should be allowed, because negative means no answer will come. So we are going to write this term which is present inside the root 9 minus x square should be a positive number, or it may be equal to 0 also. So this inside root 9 minus x square should be 0, or it should be a positive number. That is what we are writing here. So x square is taken to this side. So x square is less than or equal to 9. Or I can say that modulus x is less than or equal to 3. Yes or no? Or even I can say x is less than or equal to root 9. or x is less than or equal to plus or minus 3, that is written like this: minus 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 3. Hope you will understand this. So x square less than or equal to 9, x less than or equal to square comes this side, square root plus or minus 3, and that is written like this. So this is the domain of this function. Question number 19. Find the value of tan inverse of tan 5 pi by 4. Again, now we cannot cancel tan inverse and tan because 5 pi by 4 does not belong to the range of tan inverse function minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. This does not lie within this interval. So we should write tan 5 pi by 4 as pi plus pi by 4, and we know tan 180 plus theta is equal to tan theta. So tan 180 plus theta is written as tan theta. Since this pi by 4 now lies in this interval, so now tan inverse tan gets cancelled. Answer is pi by 4. Question number 20. Find the value of tan inverse of tan of minus pi by 6. Now if you see, this is minus 30 degree. Minus 30 degree definitely lies in this interval. So now I can directly cancel tan inverse tan, and the answer itself is minus pi by 6. Hope you will understand. Here we cannot cancel directly because this value does not lie in this interval. Here we can cancel because this value lies in this interval. That is the difference. Problem number 21. Find the value of tan inverse of 7 pi by 4. Now if it is tan and tan inverse, now I can cancel tan and tan inverse and write the answer as 7 pi by 4, because the range of tan function satisfies this condition. You just see the difference. This is tan inverse of tan inverse of tan. If it is like this, we should check for whether this value lies within this interval or not. If yes, we can cancel. If not, we cannot cancel. But here we can cancel tan and tan inverse, and the answer is 7 pi by 4. So we will stop up to this. We will see the remaining problems in the next class, and shortly we will complete our portions. So at your side, you have to be at your feet, so you should not waste any time. As I said, daily I am giving what are all the exercise to learn, so at least learn those limited exercise regularly. So when you come to school, don't simply come. What I have given as homework, that is to be learnt, that exercise you sit and really practice and come, then it will be helpful for us. Thank you, children.